Wow, what a ride at the beginning. Welcome, everybody. Welcome,
Hello.
Thorsten.
Hi.
And welcome to our special guests. Let me introduce Chris and Vesku. Hi.
Spontaneously. Thanks a
Good
lot.
morning is not the right time, I think.
Hello.
I'm really happy you made it to join us today. As you may have recognized our a bit different intro, this was a video Vesku created especially for the Teams Nation, and this is our Teams Nation special. So we are really happy and so proud that we got two of the organizers in our stream. I know you're really busy. I know this is pretty tough for you right now. I really appreciate it. If you want to leave, if you need to leave, anything, no hesitate, no worry, just go ahead. And I'm glad you made it. First
Thank
of all,
you. It's great to be here.
we have seen you. We have 130 different sessions for today. How much time did it to plan this huge event?
Well, I think we started at November last year. So it almost instantly after the previous Teams Fest, and we went through that rebranding part, and yeah, it was something like about November when we started. So it takes several months to plan and execute things like this.
Awesome.
And who can give me the actual number for the registrations?
So I think at this current time we've had just over 4,000 registrations, and it started off quite slow, I think, if I remember. When we first kind of opened the registration process, we did it quite without much fanfare, and for a few weeks we didn't get a lot. And then over time it started to steadily build and it started to accelerate. And then about a week ago it started to explode, and we were getting kind of 100 a day, 150 people a day sign up to the event. I mean, it's more than we ever thought possible. I think when we first started out, we were aiming at around 2,000 maybe, 2,200, maybe two and a half, based upon the attendance of last time. And we thought, look, we're a little bigger than before, so we will kind of accommodate for that. However, yeah, it just went through the roof. Unbelievable.
Exactly. That was that's 4,100 and something. Just even climbing up this morning.
Oh,
so that's
crazy.
That's releasing. But of course, the reality is that in the modern world, you have a free event. It's really easy to drop out. So that's why it's very good that we have lots of registrations in this, because that will mean that more people will show up.
Yeah, so true.
Absolutely. And I remember a smaller number you actually aimed for, something about 1,500. So are you happy with the currently running Teams Nation? Is it good for you?
Vesku, do you want to take this one first, and then I can come in?
Yeah. Then you can correct me. No, it's well. Of course, we are happy. We are very happy seeing how this is going forward. We have excellent moderators who are helping us out, and kind of things are going smoothly. We've had some hiccups, of course, but at this time we didn't have, at least yet, the short link service short out or anything like that, and so I think it's running pretty smooth. But of course, as the organizers, it would be awesome to see the double number of people joining up.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? We're not kind of, for us with Teams Nation, we're not kind of playing to be the biggest event. We don't kind of, or it's not competitive in terms of we have to be bigger than other events. So for us, it's not really about, you know, the thousands of people that come to the event. It's more that if somebody's attended an event, they feel like it's going to be real high quality, that they've learned something from it, and that they're pleased with coming along to the event. That's all. That's what's driven us in this. If we got the first event that we did, we had about 400. The second, 600. The third one, which was in October last year, 1,300. And if the numbers are correct, and of course we've still got about four or 5 hours to go at this point, we've probably had around over 2,000 actually turn up on the day. I would say probably 2,300, 400 from what we've actually seen and looking at the numbers. But we've seen a lot of great feedback so far. We run the feedback forms all day long. We do analyze them. We do look what people are trying to tell us. And the average speaker session, at this moment in time, the last time I looked at it, I think it was about 4.7 out of 5. It is extraordinarily high for the number of sessions that we do. And that's the kind of feedback that matters to us, because when people associate our event, they're associating it with quality speakers, easy to join, have a good time, they've learned something. It's really all got to be centered around the end user.
Yeah, I have to say that today I was a speaker, but also I had the role as an attendee for the Teams Nation, and I could join some sessions, and all of them was very good organized. The speaker was very good. The content was great. I took some ideas with me, so top. Very, very good. Good event. Good organization.
It really comes through all of us. I mean, the last Teams Nation that we had, we introduced the dedicated moderators to the track, because in the past, in the smaller events that we've done, Vesku and Adam were managing everything all up, and it got to the point where it was growing and stretching them in terms of what they could do and what they could cover and any questions that they could answer. So bringing in the moderator team, Michael, you were part of the moderator team last year for the third event that we did. It was one of the most successful things that we can do, having good moderators that are good hosts that can really support the speaker, what they're doing. We made all the right choices this time around again. So all the speakers, we've tried to be very clear and communicate what we need from the speakers, and to provide them with any support that they may need, get back to them quickly. And on the day, again, Vesku and Adam are kind of the principal drivers of the day in itself. They're the guys kind of that are behind the moderator doing the all-up management of the event. They've done a fantastic job again today. Guys, do you want to?
Yeah. Adam, do you want to start?
I agree with what Chris says. I mean, we're talking a lot about teams today. So, I mean, this is a team effort. I mean, we're the organizers, sure, but like without the moderators and obviously the speakers and as well as attendees as well. I mean, without that, it would be nothing. So it's kind of like all together we make this happen. And yeah, so far it's a good one.
Yeah, it is indeed. And I really like what has been staying on these events since the first one is that people are behaving really well. It's a kind of a very community event. We haven't had any hiccups from people in there or anything like that. So it's extremely important, and it tells us that what people are wanting to do. They want to learn. They want to come and see the speakers, meet them, talk with them, and ask questions. So that's really the key driver in here.
The technology has really progressed in the time since even we started doing and managing events. The first Teams, every event that we've done has been in Microsoft Teams. And back when we done the first one, they didn't have the ability to mute. They didn't have the ability to be able to have custom backgrounds, such as what you guys have got now. They didn't have the ability to do attendance reporting. They didn't have the ability for several things that we are able to leverage and utilize this time around. I remember in the third conference, the ability to hard mute kind of dropped. Now we can use that really to its full effect. So in the Teams meetings upon which Teams Nation has built, that's been really leveraged. I really look forward to the one. I mean, we announced that we're going to go again on the 6th of April next year. So we've already kind of planted the flag down for that. And it'll be interesting to see how we approach it and the new functionality, because we know that there's new functionality like the ability to manage video within meetings is coming. The new presenter modes, such as, are coming within. Are we going to start to leverage them so that the content appears over my shoulder when I'm talking, as opposed to me just being a little box down the bottom? Are we going to leverage things like gallery on top more and all the other new functionality that we're going to see come into meetings over the course of this year? It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, of course, we can answer that already. You're asking questions that, yeah, of course we are going to utilize everything we can. If it's kind of if it makes sense, if it's kind of make things easier and enjoyable and easier to learn for people.
Yeah, I think the overall ratings definitely representing everything I've seen and heard so far from any attendee. So the feedback is really good. I do see a lot of faces coming for specific sessions, going to the next one, enjoying the whole day, asking interesting questions, and that's actually the most important point the biggest point you can ask for.
Yeah, I mean, when we do try to think about the whole attendee experience from beginning to end. How easy is it for them to join? How easy is it for them to switch sessions, find the sessions, have a central place to find the sessions? One of the things that we are getting quite asked a lot now is about it being a singular day event, because it's got to a size whereby we have to start asking questions like, if we go again at this size, do we make it a singular day event, or do we make it into a multi-day event? In addition, the number of parallel tracks that we have. We have currently got 11 parallel tracks. The first event we had 3, the second we had 6, the third we had 8. We've had 3 additional tracks that have been in there. Granted, 2 of those tracks are in different languages, which we think that has been we're proud to have those extra tracks. And next year we've already agreed to do a Spanish track. because I got so wrapped up in the session, promised to do a finish track. So we now have about kind of 70 people that are expecting a finish track next year. That's an extra 2 tracks and to make 13. So we have to have a little bit of a think about that as well. I mean, we know a lot of the community in the US. Do we kind of work with more people in the US as well, you know, to extend the length of time, or do it at a specific time? We'll have to go away and think about those things. We'll look at the feedback. At the current time, there's been somewhere between 350 and 400 feedbacks already from the event. So it gives us a lot to digest and think about, and think how we're going to do it next time.
You just do a 24-hour event, right?
Single moderator each track. Yeah.
Yeah, you're still the main manager for.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, that's the hard part if you are extending to things like at the virtual marathon, for example, doing a very long stretch of time. That's when you have to have a lot of stuff and more organizers running in through these different time zones, because this is basically the limit what you can do in a single day, and we are stretching that probably already.
One thing I can give you a big shout out is you are adjusting some issues in the back end, or in any small part which may came up during the event, really in a glimpse. So there was just a second, and everything was done. So that's something you're really good at, and that's amazing, to be honest, when we take a look into all your efforts you're currently doing, not only for relying on the moderators or waiting for some feedback or something like that. You're doing all the day so many things, recordings paused or stopped and restarting, going into the tracks. Vesku is looking right now in every track and checking is everything fine. So that's amazing. Right? So that's incredible.
It is. I mean, that is what takes the time. You know, like Vesku said, that we've been planning this for 6 months, right? Gradual build-up of those. And from our past experience, we plan for quite a long time ahead, but also as well as that we have to kind of load balance the work. I mean, Adam and Vesku and Chris Webb and myself, and this time around we've also got Patrick Guillemet and Raphael Kolner's involvement as well, because they have been taking on some of the organizational burden of that as well. We have to kind of share that out in as far as we have working lives, and we have family commitments, and we go and speak at other events at the same time. So we kind of need to do these things over time. But because we've done this kind of several times now, we have kind of, I don't want to say it's not an easy thing at all, but we certainly have an awareness of a lot of the things that we need to do to be able to make an event successful, and dotting the I's and crossing the T's, as it were. We have still got stuff that's right up until the day of the event. So yesterday we were doing a dry run of the keynote, and we were still going through and hammering out a couple of technical glitches, making sure everything was right. We've had moderator sessions where we've tried to prep the moderators. We've been answering questions in the team. Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of work, and just before I hand over to the guys, a little thing that people may or may not know is that Teams Nation used to be on the 26th of May. That's when the original date was, but we had to move the conference forward 2 weeks, because at the end of March, we saw a kind of a leaked on a site that Microsoft Build was going to be on between the 25th and 27th of May. And that really kind of this time disrupted. You know, we kind of had our schedule for being able to execute the event, and then we were put into a situation where we had to pull the event forward for 2 weeks, renegotiate with over 130 speakers in order to be able to do the event. In many ways, it's a miracle of what's happening today, because, you know, moving it forward 2 weeks, it has been crazy. It's been this time around. So that's why we announced the 2022 edition right now. We've planted the flag there to basically say that we wanted it at a time when we know that no major Microsoft events are taking place.
Yeah, or at least they can plan accordingly.
That's right. That's right. If it gets much bigger, they might change it for us.
No, but that's a nice thought. But no, but yeah, there shouldn't be any major event at that time, and that's important at this moment.
Yeah, next year Microsoft will move any internal conference or in any conference because of the Teams Nation. I've had actually we had another session, Thorsten and I, today on another event, which actually moved because of today's Teams Nation Day until June, I think.
June, yes.
So there is definitely a dependency also for other events, and it's good to have this announced quite early.
Yeah, but of course we had a date set, but as Chris explained, we had to move it forward or to make it 2 weeks sooner, and that's we tried to look through if we didn't hit anything kind of our radar, but we had a very limited number of days we could also choose from, so it was very unfortunate if some event had to move, but it may be good that people are thinking about this as a community as well and move around through that. And that's what we've been doing as well. We try to check that we are not on top of some other event or too close to some other bigger event as well.
But it's really hard because, I mean, we're operating in like a worldwide, so there's always some holidays for some, and I mean, there's so many events right now as well. So it's a bit of a puzzle to find date that really fits. It should be a good day in the middle of the week, where people, so as many people as possible can attend, no holidays, you know, all the hours. How you also, I mean, Chris have done an awesome job at creating the schedule, so the speakers, wherever time zone they're from, so they can actually attend and not in the middle of the night or very early in the morning. So make that easy for them to attend as well. So it's a kind of a tricky puzzle.
Absolutely, and I think you're managing it great.
Great,
so
yeah.
It's an overall rating also from my side. Everything from behind the scenes as a moderator, what you have done with the moderators, and everything from a planning, communication part, up to the actual live event right now. So yeah, that's amazing.
And there are still some hours to go. So at the end of the day, we have a virtual party. I'm excited about it. Already installed the VR software on my desktop for the first time. I don't know how it works, but yeah, we will see.
Yeah, Altspace is fun, and of course this all ignited at Ignite when they used Altspace for the keynote, and that's when it really fired up, and we have seen events using the Altspace VR for the party or social gathering and testing it out, and of course it's a really interesting piece of tech that's still on the early stages as well. Of course, it's a kind of nice idea to think about it's the next level of meetings. I even blogged about that, I think, but it's not it's not a kind of direct line. It's not the thing. Okay, that's the next. It really depends on other things, just like we have everything depending on Teams.
Yeah, cool.
But it definitely makes sense. So I'm looking forward to the after show party.
Yeah.
So that will be huge.
Yeah, and of course, hopefully we get a lot of people there as well. So so we can socialize and talk, and it's a really different style of meeting than what's at the normal Teams meeting.
Yeah. I mean, I think like hopefully we'll get. We don't know, because I mean people are still very not used to the old space VR thing, and it's a misconception they need a VR set and stuff like that. We've tried to be as clear as possible that you don't need that. You can just download the software on your computer and run it like that. So we'll see how it ends up. But hopefully, yeah.
Of course, there are things like some holiday tomorrow at Europe or in several countries, and some families have lots of plans, so it may be affect that as well, how people are attending. But at least some people will show up, and it's going to be fun. And
Definitely. Yeah.
We'll be there.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
Yeah, me too. And my first experience with Allspace VR was at MVP Summit. And there was really a difference for me jumping from just staring at the monitor and get it somehow in touch with the people to go into a VR environment, even staring at the same monitor, but the experience is another one. So you're more connected, and I really liked it.
Yeah, the thing I love about that most is that you basically move in that environment, and that's when you kind of do these instant meetings with people. Their voices are louder when you are closer, and when you go away, they fade out. The stereo sound, that's really something. How about you, Adam? How's your experience with Altspace?
I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with it. I mean, to be honest, completely honest, the first time I was using it was at the keynote at the Ignite, and I've tried a little bit since then. I mean, I don't have a VR headset or anything like that either. But I mean, I definitely got hooked after the keynote, the Ignite keynote, and I can really see the benefits of having something like this, especially when we're so I don't know, our eyes are so used to just looking at the screen now, and you're so tired of doing that. To have something in between a real interaction and just staring at the Teams meeting. So. Not a lot of experience, but I think it's really something that will grow bigger and bigger and be more common as times goes.
Yeah, and we will be able to spot those who have the VR headset and who don't. You know how?
No.
The people with the headset have hands. We just are going to be our hands down all the time because we don't have the headset. Yeah.
And I hope you place some rockets over there and we can shoot some rockets.
Yeah, there are some rockets and snowballs.
Okay. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'm targeting at Adam, of course. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. No, it will be fun, and that's the key thing. That's going to be lots of fun there.
So, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah.
It was really great to have a chat with you. And once again, I appreciate that you spent your time with us in this stream and monitoring the conference. So you have right now the double stress or the 8th, 16th. I'm not sure. A huge multiplicator of stress right now. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest.
Thank you.
We'll see each other later.
Yeah, we will, and you too.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
See you at the party.
See you. Yes.
Have a good one.
Don't miss the end notes. You don't want to miss the end notes.
Right.
Yes. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
And from our side, Thorsten and I, we will say goodbye as well. Oder? Magst du noch drüber reden?
Darauf war ich jetzt nicht vorbereitet. Ja, keine Ahnung. Wir haben jetzt eine halbe Stunde, glaube ich, irgendwie auf Sendung. Ne? Das ist schon...
Ja, ziemlich.
Ja. Ich meine, du musst ja auch in den nächsten Moderationsslot wahrscheinlich rein. Von daher würde ich sagen, wir können ja dann vielleicht nochmal im Anschluss nächste Woche oder sowas eine nächste Woche nicht, sondern in 2 Wochen eine German Teams Nation Special machen, I don't know. Und dann würde ich sagen, schauen wir mal, ne?
Ja, auf jeden Fall
Und,
werden wir nochmal einen Recap machen, wenn das alles durch ist und werden euch auch
Ja.
erzählen, wie es mit Altspace VR war. Jetzt hatten wir erstmal die Chance, tatsächlich die Organisatoren mit reinzukriegen. Das
Mega.
war sehr gut.
Ja.
Und dann sprechen Thorsten und ich uns nächste Woche. Nein, Entschuldigung, in 2 Wochen. Jetzt fange ich auch schon an. Und damit sage ich herzlichen Dank an all die live zuschauen, an all die sich den Podcast angehört haben und all die jetzt völlig verwirrt sind, weil der erste Teil völlig auf Englisch gelaufen ist und jetzt dann direkt in Deutsch übergegangen ist. Für diejenigen, die Podcast gehört haben, glaube ich, echt anstrengend. Aber hey,
Öfter mal was Neues. Ja.
Genau. Und damit, wie immer, teilt es gern das Video mit allen, die ihr glaubt, dass das passt. Mit Hund, Katze, Maus,
Katze,
Oma,
Maus.
Opa, Onkel, Tante. Thorsten spricht schon langsam mit. Das nächste Mal macht er es vielleicht.
Nein.
Und wie gesagt, jeden, der sich auch dafür interessiert, wie das so ein bisschen hinter den Szenen abläuft, der ein bisschen einen Blick haben möchte, ein bisschen behind the scenes von der Teams Nation.
Und eins nicht vergessen, Leute, bitte votet für uns bei dem Tech Community Award 2021, der V-Comverse, damit wir den Pott nach Hause bringen. Von daher voten.
Genau. Dankeschön für den Reminder. Im Video seht ihr nochmal den QR-Code. Und ich glaube ansonsten online.comsverse.com/awards.
Für all die Podcaster da draußen und Zuhörer, ja.
Und damit viel Spaß noch. Wir hören uns, sehen uns bei der nächsten Folge.
So ist es.
Ciao.
Danke. Ciao.